We're continuing our talk here with Harvey from the Manx Grand Prix about the events here tonight. They still want you to run the event. That's what was made very clear from the last chat we've had with them about that. Do you feel that position is still secure for you?
No, not really.
Well, who would run it if you didn't run it?
I don't know.
But you don't think it...
I think it is being said. It's being said that they still want us in, but we need to see what happens tonight, and then we need to talk on the basis of what happens tonight. We need to talk then urgently with the politicians.
Do you think the future of the event is secure in some form or fashion, though?
I think some form of event will go ahead. Who's involved will remain to be seen. But certainly all the indications are that this year, 2012, just 1 year before the 90th Manx Grand Prix, that this year will be the last Manx Grand Prix titled event.
And to make this absolutely clear, the government haven't quite involved you as much as you want, or you just have rejected their proposals?
We have met with them on a regular basis, and we've regularly had a dialogue. The impression at those meetings is that we get on fine. The end product is that when you look at their proposals, which we feel are fundamentally flawed, and we put a contra-proposal to them, which gave them the opportunity of achieving everything that they wanted to achieve without costing another penny on the running of the event. And as far as we can gather, the only aspect of our contra-proposal that they have so far accepted is that if the weather is bad on Monday, there's a fallback day of the Tuesday, which is part of our contra-proposal.
How do you feel?
I'm going to be very interested in what people say tonight. I'm very keen, as the guy who's drawn the short straw and chairing the meeting. Not a good time to become chairman of the Manx Motorcycle Club in January of this year. But I'm very keen that this doesn't in any way turn into a slanging match. You know, that this is a constructive meeting, taking views from all sides. Really, there are many people here, not just club members, but there are many people who I'm sure are going to be here who represent various other bodies who are potentially affected, particularly by the fact that that effectively, if these proposals go forward, that's a week off the holiday season.
Do you believe the government was just going to make these changes regardless of anybody else's input into this?
There is some concern that a number of people have had discussions with certain individuals within the department who were coming out with some of these ideas 2 or 3 years ago. And this seems to be the fruition of that work all that time ago. We haven't given up. The fight goes on because common sense has ultimately got to prevail. Otherwise,
and you agree that it needs to make some money or changes need to be made?
Money. Yeah, I mean, if I were wearing another hat as a taxpayer, when you're closing libraries and preschool playgroups and care homes, where does the Manx Grand Prix fit into that? Yeah, absolutely. But I should hate to think that anybody might think that we are against change. We recognise, and the contract that we had, which Dead have now torn up, the contract we had with them...
Sorry, they've torn it up?
Yeah, they've that's maybe too strong a word, but the contract was drawn to an end some little while ago, and their role in it was to promote the event, provide the circuit, promote the event. Our role was to run the races, and it was as simple as that. So the promotion side of it, they promoted it last year, and they claimed 10% increase in visitors just in 1 year. We've got to make more money. There's a lot of people out in the UK alone who this event hasn't yet reached. It's a superb event involving... a wide range of machinery.
Yeah, but you accept the TT branding will have to go in there somewhere? No?
I can see in a way where they're coming from, but the way I look at it, Manx Grand Prix, it's one of the very, very few events in the world that's able now to call itself a Grand Prix. And it's only because it's been a Grand Prix for so long. The TT...
So that's like a trade name as well, is it?
Absolutely, that's a brand in its own right. There's got to be some value in that. The TT is not a unique brand. There's a Dutch TT, there's a German TT, TTXGP worldwide now. So it's not something that's explicit to the Isle of Man. We think there's a brand there that in itself is worth developing. The TT, if you go back just a few years, when the big changes were brought about with the TT, the TT was going nowhere at that stage, and now it's got this great market penetration with television coverage and the like. But at the same time, whilst there's television coverage, the Sutton 100 has had more television time than the TT's had, with a video that the Sutton 100 Club organised themselves through Greenlight Television. We're looking for a level playing field, and that's really what we want.